When we hear the word vulnerability, most of us think of it as something to be avoided, an open wound that leaves us exposed to the world, to judgment, to pain. We grow up learning to hide our weaknesses, to shield ourselves from the fear of being not enough, to wear masks that project strength, confidence, and perfection. But here's the truth: vulnerability is not the enemy. In fact, it's where our true power lies. Vulnerability is about embracing the parts of ourselves that we're often told to hide. It's about showing up fully in our rawest and most authentic form and saying, "This is who I am," no filters, no pretending. When you can stand in your truth, whether that truth is messy, uncomfortable, or imperfect, you step into a place of incredible strength. Because vulnerability is not about being weak, it's about being courageous enough to let the world see you exactly as you are. It takes courage to share your story, to speak the words that so many of us keep locked away out of fear of judgment or rejection. But the irony is that the more we try to protect ourselves by hiding, the more we disconnect from the world and from ourselves. And vulnerability creates connection. It's what builds bridges between us, what allows others to say, "I've been there too," or "I understand." It's through sharing our vulnerabilities that we create genuine relationships, not only with others, but with ourselves. When you are vulnerable, you give others permission to be vulnerable too. You create a space for authenticity, for realness, for healing. And that is where transformation begins, not in the polished, perfect versions of our lives that we show to the world, but in the messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes painful truths that make us human. Vulnerability teaches us that we don't have to be perfect to be loved. We don't have to have all the answers to be worthy. We simply have to show up as ourselves. It's important to understand that vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or spilling every detail of your life to everyone you meet. It's about discernment. It's about choosing to share your truth with the right people in the right spaces where it can be received with compassion and understanding. Vulnerability requires trust. And that trust starts with you. You have to trust yourself enough to believe that your story, no matter how difficult, has value. You have to trust that your pain has a purpose and that by leaning into it, you can grow stronger. Vulnerability is also a teacher. It teaches us that we are not in control of everything, and that's okay. It teaches us to embrace uncertainty, to live in the present, and to understand that our worth is not tied to our achievements or the image we project to the world. It's a reminder that we are enough just as we are, flaws and all. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we tap into a deep well of resilience and strength that can carry us through life's toughest moments. Many of us are afraid to be vulnerable because we think it will lead to pain or failure. But the truth is, it's not vulnerability that hurts us, it's the fear of it, the fear of it. The fear of being seen. The fear of being judged. The fear of rejection. Yet, when we push past that fear, we discover something remarkable: that vulnerability is freedom. It frees us from the chains of perfectionism, from the need to constantly prove ourselves, from the exhausting task of hiding who we really are. When we embrace vulnerability, we find that it's not a weakness, but a strength that empowers us to be real, to be honest, and to live fully in our truth. Life doesn't always go according to plan. In fact, more often than not, we're met with unexpected challenges, moments that seem designed to knock us down, disrupt our path, or make us question our purpose. These obstacles can feel like barriers, like walls too high to climb or hurdles too difficult to overcome. But what if, instead of seeing these obstacles as setbacks, we started to see them as stepping stones? What if the very things that seem to be holding us back are actually the things that can propel us forward? Obstacles are a part of life, they are inevitable. But they don't have to define the outcome of our journey. It's not the challenges themselves that shape our lives, but how we respond to them. The key is to shift your mindset, seeing obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth, for learning, and for transformation. When we encounter difficulties, we're being asked to tap into parts of ourselves that we didn't even know existed, to develop strengths we hadn't yet discovered. Think about it, some of the most important lessons in life come not from our successes, but from our struggles. It's in those moments of discomfort, when we're stretched to our limits, that we discover who we really are. Obstacles push us to question our approach, to be resourceful, and to innovate. They force us out of our comfort zones, where true growth begins. In overcoming challenges, we build resilience, and with resilience comes a deeper understanding of our own capabilities. Every challenge carries within it the seed of an opportunity. It may not be immediately clear when you're in the thick of it. It's hard to see how this particular struggle could lead to something better. But often it's only in hindsight that we realize the gift that was hidden within the difficulty. The obstacle might be showing us a new direction, a new skill, or a new strength we hadn't recognized before. It might be redirecting us to something greater, something we wouldn't have found if we hadn't faced that particular challenge. Obstacles also teach us patience and perseverance. In a world that values quick results and instant gratification, facing a challenge reminds us that some things take time. Success doesn't happen overnight, and neither does growth. The process of working through an obstacle can be slow, frustrating, and painful, but it's in that process that we develop the patience and grit necessary to achieve long-term success. It's easy to keep going when everything is smooth and easy, but it's the persistence in the face of adversity that truly sets us apart. Obstacles can also force us to reassess our goals and intentions. Sometimes the very thing we thought we wanted isn't what we need after all. The challenges we face can act as a reality check, prompting us to reevaluate our path and make adjustments where necessary. They can help clarify our vision and push us toward what is truly meaningful rather than what we think we should be pursuing. In that sense, obstacles aren't detours, they're essential parts of the journey, guiding us toward a deeper alignment with our purpose. But let's be clear, turning obstacles into opportunities doesn't mean pretending that challenges are easy or ignoring the pain and frustration that come with them. It's not about being blindly optimistic or sugarcoating reality. Rather, it's about acknowledging the difficulty, feeling the disappointment or frustration, and then choosing to move forward anyway. It's about recognizing that every obstacle carries the potential for something greater, even if we can't see it in the moment. The greatest innovators, leaders, and thinkers throughout history have all faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles. But what sets them apart is their ability to see those challenges as opportunities to do something different, something better. They didn't let failure define them. Instead, they used it as fuel to push harder, to think more creatively, and to persevere when others would have given up. Self-belief is the foundation upon which all success is built. It's the inner voice that tells you, I am capable, even when the world seems to be shouting the opposite. It's that quiet confidence that no matter what challenges arise or how many times you fall, you have the strength and the ability to rise again. But self-belief isn't just about feeling good or thinking positive thoughts. It's about knowing deep within that you have the power to create the life you want. The truth is, the way you see yourself directly influences the life you lead. If you don't believe in your worth, your abilities, or your potential, it doesn't matter how talented you are or how many opportunities come your way, because you won't fully embrace them. Self-doubt is a thief. It robs you of your potential by convincing you that you're not ready, that you're not enough, or that you don't deserve the success you seek. Without self-belief, you find yourself stuck on the sidelines of life, watching opportunities pass you by. On the other hand, when you have self-belief, you approach life from a place of possibility rather than limitation. You see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to prove your resilience and creativity. You're willing to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, because you trust that whatever happens, you'll figure it out. You understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but simply a part of the process, a stepping stone toward your success. Self-belief is also what sustains you when the road gets tough. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going well, when people are supporting you, and when the path ahead is clear. But real self-belief kicks in when things are uncertain, when you're met with doubt from others, or when you face repeated setbacks. It's in those moments that your belief in yourself matters most, because it's what keeps you moving forward when the external world is telling you to sustain. Developing self-belief isn't about being arrogant or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about recognizing your inherent value. It's understanding that you have unique gifts and talents that the world needs, and that you are worthy of success, joy, and fulfillment simply because you exist. You don't need external validation to prove your worth. When you cultivate a deep sense of self-belief, you stop waiting for others to give you permission to chase your dreams. You stop seeking approval and start validating yourself. But it's not always easy to believe in yourself, especially in a world that often points out our flaws, criticizes our efforts, or sets impossible standards. Many of us grow up internalizing messages that make us question our value, whether it's from society, family, or past experiences. We start to carry these doubts as if they are facts, allowing them to shape our self-image and limit our potential. That's why building self-belief is often an intentional and ongoing process. It requires unlearning those false narratives and replacing them with affirmations of your worth and capability. One way to strengthen self-belief is through action. Confidence doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. It comes from doing, from trying, from stepping into the unknown. Each small victory builds on the last, creating a cycle of belief and achievement. When you take action, even in the face of fear or uncertainty, you prove to yourself that you are capable. And with each step forward, your self-belief grows stronger because you have evidence of your own resilience and ability. Self-belief also requires that you surround yourself with people who support and encourage you. The people you allow into your life should uplift you, remind you of your strengths, and believe in your potential. It's important to protect your mind from negativity, whether that's from others or from the critical voice inside your own head. When you cultivate a supportive environment, you create space for your self-belief to flourish. However, self-belief doesn't mean you'll never experience doubt. Everyone has moments of insecurity, times when they question whether they're truly capable of achieving their goals. But the difference with self-belief is that you don't let those doubts define you. You acknowledge them and then you push forward anyway. You remind yourself of what you've already overcome, what you've already accomplished, and you keep going. Because deep down, you trust in your ability to succeed. Believing in yourself isn't just about personal success. Either it's about how you show up in the world. When you have self-belief, you carry yourself differently. You inspire others simply by being authentic and grounded in who you are. You become a source of encouragement and hope for those around you, showing them that it's possible to chase their dreams and overcome their own doubts. Self-belief has a ripple effect. The more you believe in yourself, the more you empower others to do the same. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in life, yet it's often overlooked. We live in a world where the constant chase for more success, more possessions, more achievements can easily blind us to the blessings we already have. But gratitude isn't about waiting until everything is perfect to feel thankful. It's about recognizing the beauty and value in what is present right here and now, even when life is difficult, even when things aren't going the way you planned. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already abundant. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have, the goals we haven't reached, the dreams still unfulfilled, the possessions we wish we owned. But when you practice gratitude, you train your mind to look at the world through a different lens. Instead of fixating on lack, you begin to see the gifts that are already in your life. This shift in focus doesn't just make you feel better in the moment, it changes how you experience life on a deeper level. Gratitude also has the power to transform how you approach challenges. It doesn't mean ignoring the hard times or pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, it's about finding something to be grateful for, even in the midst of struggle. When you can appreciate the lesson in the challenge, the growth in the difficulty, or the strength you gain from facing adversity, you start to see that even the hardest times have value. This perspective doesn't take away the pain, but it gives you a sense of purpose and resilience. Gratitude doesn't erase hardship, but it helps you navigate it with more grace. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to ground you in the present moment. So much of our anxiety and stress comes from worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, but gratitude anchors you in the here and now. It's a reminder that despite everything, there are always small blessings around you. It could be as simple as a moment of quiet, the warmth of sunlight on your face, or a kind word from a friend. When you take the time to acknowledge these moments, you bring yourself back to the present, where life is actually happening. Making gratitude a daily practice isn't about grand gestures or only feeling thankful for big things. It's about cultivating a mindset of appreciation for even the smallest details of your life. It could be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day, or taking a few minutes in the morning or before bed to reflect on what went right. The more you practice gratitude, the more it becomes a natural part of how you think. Over time, you'll start to notice more and more things to be grateful for, and the more you notice, the more you attract. Gratitude also opens the door to more meaningful relationships. When you express gratitude for the people in your life, whether it's thanking a loved one for their support, acknowledging a colleague's hard work, or simply appreciating a stranger's kindness, you strengthen those connections. Gratitude fosters a sense of belonging and encourages empathy. It reminds you that you are not alone, that your life is intertwined with the lives of others in meaningful ways. And when you express gratitude outwardly, it has a ripple effect, encouraging others to feel appreciated and inspiring them to spread kindness in return. It's important to understand that gratitude is not a one-time event, it's a practice, something you return to again and again, even on the days when it feels difficult. In fact, it's during those difficult times that gratitude is most powerful. When things aren't going well, when you feel overwhelmed or disheartened, that's when gratitude becomes a lifeline. It doesn't change the situation, but it changes your perspective. It reminds you that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is always something to hold on to. Practicing gratitude also has a profound impact on your mental and physical well-being. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress and anxiety, improved sleep, and better overall health. When you focus on what you're grateful for, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which help boost your mood and create a sense of well-being. Gratitude literally rewires your brain to seek out the positive, making it easier to feel joy and contentment in your everyday life. Gratitude doesn't just benefit you, it changes how you move through the world. When you approach life with a grateful heart, you become more open, more generous, and more compassionate. You start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You become more patient with others, more understanding of their struggles, and more willing to lend a helping hand. Gratitude is contagious. When you embody it, you inspire those around you to do the same. Giving back and paying it forward. At the heart of a truly fulfilling life lies a simple yet profound principle: giving back. No matter how successful you become, how many goals you achieve, or how far you rise, life will always ask you to reach out and lift others as you climb. This isn't just about charitable acts or grand gestures. It's about embracing the idea that our lives are interconnected, that we are part of a larger community, and that true success is only meaningful when it is shared. When you give back, you're acknowledging that no one succeeds alone. We all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, whether it's our family, mentors, teachers, or even strangers who offered us help along the way. Every achievement, every step forward is in some way linked to the support and guidance of others. Giving back is a way of honoring that truth, of recognizing that as we rise, we have a responsibility to help others rise with us. But giving back doesn't always require material wealth or resources. Sometimes the most valuable thing you can offer is your time, your attention, or your kindness. You might not realize it, but even small acts offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, or simply listening to someone in need can have a profound impact on a person's life. These small moments of generosity, when repeated over time, create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. You may never know the full extent of how your actions affect others, but that's the beauty of giving. It isn't about receiving recognition. It's about creating a ripple of positive change that can spread in ways you might never imagine. At its core, giving back is about shifting your focus from what can I get to what can I give. It's about realizing that abundance doesn't come from hoarding what you have, but from sharing it. When you give, you create space in your life for more growth, more connection, and more meaning. It's not a transaction, it's an exchange of energy that benefits both the giver and the receiver. In giving, you gain a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment because you're contributing to something greater than yourself. And here's the powerful thing about giving: it's not just about helping others in the moment, it's about planting seeds for the future. When you pay it forward, you're creating a cycle of generosity that continues long after your initial act. The person you help today may be inspired to help someone else tomorrow, and so on. This is how communities are built, how movements are started, and how real change happens, not through isolated acts, but through a collective spirit of generosity that spreads and multiplies. Giving back also reminds you of your own capacity to make a difference. Sometimes we get so caught up in the busyness of life, in our own struggles or ambitions, that we forget just how much power we have to impact others. You don't need to be wealthy, famous, or in a position of authority to make a difference. Each of us, in our own unique way, has something to offer. Whether it's sharing a skill, offering a kind word, or helping someone in need, every act of giving, no matter how small, contributes to the greater good. When you give back, you also deepen your sense of gratitude. It's in the act of helping others that you realize how much you have to be thankful for. Giving shifts your perspective from what you lack to what you have to offer. It's a reminder that no matter where you are in life, there's always someone who could benefit from your help, and that generosity is not about excess, but about willingness. By focusing on what you can give, you unlock an inner abundance that enriches both your life and the lives of those around you. Paying it forward also fosters a sense of community and belonging. When you give, you build connections that transcend personal gain. You become part of a larger collective effort to uplift and support one another. In a world that can often feel isolating or competitive, giving back helps to restore a sense of unity and shared purpose. It reminds us that we are all in this together and that the success of one is linked to the well-being of all. Ultimately, giving back and paying it forward are not just actions, they are a way of living. It's about approaching each day with a mindset of service, asking yourself, how can I contribute? How can I make a difference today? Whether through large acts of generosity or small, everyday gestures, giving becomes a way to align your life with a sense of higher purpose. It's about leaving the world a little better than you found it, knowing that in doing so, you are part of something much bigger than yourself.